beckoned to a waiter to obey a call from one of the tables. The next instant, he subsided into his old state. He might have been some profoundly deaf old gentleman who had come in to take a rest, or he might have been patiently waiting for a friend, without the least consciousness of anybody's presence, or fixed in a trance, or under the influence of opium. People turned round and looked at him. He made no gesture, caught nobody's eye, let them pass away and others come on, and be succeeded by others, and took no notice. When he did move, it seemed wonderful how he could have seen anything to occasion it, and so in truth it was. But there was not a face that passed in or out which this man failed to see, not a gesture at any one of the three tables that was lost upon him, not a word spoken by the bankers but reached his ear, not a winner or loser he could not have marked, and he was the proprietor of the place. The other presided over the rouge et noir table. He was probably some 10 years younger, and was a plump, paunchy, sturdy-looking fellow, with his under lip a little pursed, from a habit of counting money inwardly as he paid it, but with no decidedly bad expression in his face, which was rather an honest and jolly one than otherwise. He wore no coat, the weather being hot, and stood behind the table with a huge mound of crowns and half-crowns before him, and a cash box for notes. This game was constantly playing. Perhaps 20 people would be staking at the same time. This man had to roll the ball to watch the stakes as they were laid down, to gather them off the color which lost, to pay those who won, to do it all with the utmost dispatch, to roll the ball again, and to keep this game perpetually alive. He did it all with a rapidity absolutely marvellous, never hesitating, never making a mistake, never stopping, and never ceasing to repeat such unconnected phrases as the following, which, partly from habit, and partly to have something appropriate and businesslike to say, he constantly poured out with the same monotonous emphasis, and in nearly the same order all day long. Rouge et noir from Paris. Gentlemen, make your game and back your own opinions any time while the ball rolls. Rouge et noir from Paris. Gentlemen, it's a French game, gentlemen. I brought it over myself. I did indeed. Rouge et noir from Paris. Black wins. Black. Stop a minute, sir, and I'll pay you directly. 2 there, half a pound there, 3 there, and 1 there. Gentlemen, the balls are rolling. Any time, sir, while the ball rolls. The beauty of this game is that you can double your stakes or put down your money, gentlemen, any time while the ball rolls. Black again. Black wins. I never saw such a thing. I never did in all my life. Upon my word, I never did. If any gentleman had been backing the black in the last 5 minutes, he must have won £45 in 4 rolls of the ball. He must indeed. Gentlemen, with port, sherry, cigars, and most excellent champagne. Here, waiter, bring a bottle of champagne and let's have a dozen or 15 cigars here. And let's be comfortable, gentlemen. And bring some clean glasses. Any time while the ball rolls. I lost £137 yesterday, gentlemen, At one roll of the ball, I did indeed. How do you do, sir? Recognizing some knowing gentleman without any halt or change of voice, and giving a wink so slight that it seems an accident. Will you take a glass of sherry, sir? Here, waiter, bring a clean glass, and hand the sherry to this gentleman, and hand it round, will you, waiter? This is the Rouge and Noir from Paris, gentlemen. Any time while the ball rolls, gentlemen, make your game and back your own opinions. It's the Rouge and Noir from Paris. Quite a new game. I brought it over myself. I did indeed, gentlemen. The balls are rolling. This officer was busily plying his vocation when half a dozen persons sauntered through the booth, to whom, but without stopping either in his speech or walk, he bowed respectfully, at the same time directing by a look the attention of a man beside him to the tallest figure in the group, in recognition of whom the proprietor pulled off his hat. This was Sir Mulberry Hawk, with whom were his friend and pupil, and a small train of gentlemanly dressed men, of characters more doubtful than obscure. The proprietor, in a low voice, bade Sir Mulberry good day. Sir Mulberry, in the same tone, bade the proprietor go to the devil, and turned to speak to his friends. There was evidently an irritable consciousness about him that he was an object of curiosity on this first occasion of showing himself in public after the accident that had befallen him, and it was easy to perceive that he appeared on the race course that day more in the hope of meeting with a great many people who knew him, and so getting over as much as possible of the annoyance at once, than with any purpose of enjoying the sport. There yet remained a slight scar upon his face, and whenever he was recognized, as he was almost every minute, by people sauntering in and out, he made a restless effort to conceal it with his glove, showing how keenly he felt the disgrace he had undergone. "Ah, Hawk," said one very sprucely dressed personage in a new market coat, a choice neckerchief, and all other accessories of the most unexceptional kind. "How do you do, old fellow?" This was a rival trainer of young noblemen and gentlemen, and the person of all others whom Sir Mulberry most hated and dreaded to meet. They shook hands with excessive cordiality. "And how are you now, old fellow, hey?" quite well, said Sir Mulberry. "That's right," said the other. "How do you do, very soft? He's a little pulled down, our friend here. Rather out of condition still, hey?" It should be observed that the gentleman had very white teeth, and that when there was no excuse for laughing, he generally finished with the same monosyllable which he uttered so as to display them. "He's in very good condition. There's nothing the matter with him," said the young man carelessly. "Upon my soul, I'm glad to hear it," rejoined the other. "Have you just returned from Brussels?" "We only reached town late last night," said Lord Frederick. Sir Mulberry turned away to speak to one of his own party, and feigned not to hear. "Now, upon my life," said the friend, affecting to speak in a whisper, "it's an uncommonly bold and game thing in Hawk to show himself so soon. I say it advisedly. There's a vast